Welcome to the Sunset Archon channel, where we aspire to game from night to first light. And for the final game of today, we will be playing Atelier Sophie 2, The Alchemist of the Mysterious Dream. This will be my first time actually starting up the game too, so I hope it's as good as I've been hearing. And download. Okay, so there was a download. Okay. But you know what? We're going to start it without the download because I like to see how a game is without that day one patch. It would be nice. There are a lot of games that come out and then have that day one patch as if they didn't have enough time to actually patch the source code properly. And that's a bad thing because once the internet connection controlling those patches goes down, like what's happening with the 3DS and Wii U eShops, that's it. You're stuck with whatever you have on your console and the 1.0 version on whatever physical cartridges you have, cartridges and discs you have. That's why I miss the days of the original DS, because they actually put that game out when it's ready, not when it's good enough and they'll patch it later. This is a pretty long loading screen, even by Atelier standards. Ah, there we go. Now it's creating the system data. Let's watch the introduction. This game uses autosave. We'll have to turn that off. Wait, really? Usually there's an intro scene. I'm shocked. But let's see what we got. Alright. The options. So we got easy, normal, hard, very hard. I am going to start on easy just so we can level a bit and also get used to the synthesis system and the battles itself. Like I said, this is my first time playing this version. I've played Atelier Sophie, Atelier Fierce, and Atelier Lydia and Suelle, all of the Mysterious series, and then they come out with this years later. Oh wow. Alright, save order. Set on to save the current item sorting setting. Alright. Check obtainable items. Yes, we want that so we can see what we collect. Ah, here it is. Turn autosave off. Weather display is time of day. Only appearable stationary. Alright, and this is particularly interesting. There's a motion blur option. I don't think there was anything like that in the past games. And we got control mode. Select your preference to how the game runs. Quality. Prioritizes graphics quality, increasing the processing load. Performance. Prioritizes smooth performance over graphics quality. Alright. Well, that is also pretty interesting because some Atelier games can get pretty resource intensive, especially in the midst of battle with all the flashing effects. Oh, which reminds me, be sure, when we're in the midst of battle, be sure to watch this stream or the playback in a well-lit area. You know, so those flashing lights don't get at you in the dark. Alright, so we're gonna keep everything the same except for autosave. That gets turned off. Audio. Alright, let's see what we got. Pushing R forward, we'll move the camera up. Alright, so we want the camera to be inverted. So tilting to the right. Move the camera to the right. Moving camera to the right. Alright, so I think we want the... we want everything inverted, apparently. Alright, I just got a buffering wheel. Not sure why. Welcome to the Sunset Archon channel, where we aspire to game from night to first light. How are you doing today? Alright, we're just getting everything set up. Not sure what's happening with the stream. I hope it's still going. Welcome, little lady. Welcome back. Just to make sure, is the stream still running smoothly? Because I got a buffering wheel right now in the command center, as they call it. Okay, sprinting. We want to change that from R and L to just R toggle. No map rotation. Item auto select. Set to on to automatically move cursor to the next item after selecting an item. No. Let's see. Event autoplay. Event has autoplay speed has 10 available levels. The higher number set, the faster text will display during the event. Okay. Alright, everything looks good. Alright, I'll try to fix that. Give me a second. Alright, how's it looking now? Okay. Alright. It looks like it's done now. It looks like it's working now, but how are things on your end? Alrighty, once again, welcome to the Sunset Archon channel where we aspire to game from night to first light. Now that we have fixed all the options that we need, we'll be going into the story so far. Just so we can both recap what happened in Atelier Sophie 2 and move from there. Let's see, no. You can view the summary of Atelier Sophie, the Alchemist of the Mysterious Book. Note that this will include many important details regarding the first game. Do you wish to play the movie? Yes. Yes, we do.
私はキルヘンベルの街が大好き。生まれてからずっと暮らしてるたくさんの思い出が詰まった街だから。でも今日でキルヘンベルからしばらく離れることになったの。その前にここで作った大切な思い出をいっぱい話しておきたいんだ。おばあちゃんがいなくなってから私は一人でアトリエを続けてたの。昼間はみんな来てくれるけど夜になると一人ぼっちになっちゃうのが寂しかったな。けどそんな寂しい毎日はプラフタと出会って変わったんだ。プラフタは不思議な喋る本でね、昔の記憶をなくしてたの。そのなくした記憶を取り戻すためにたくさんのレシピをプラフタに書いたんだ。少しずつプラフタの記憶が戻っていってプラフタが人間だったっていうのが分かった頃かな。私プラフタを人間に戻したいって思うようになったんだ。けどその方法が分からなくて勢いだけで行動しちゃってプラフタを怒らせちゃったこともあったんだ。まああれは怒って当然だったけど結局今も人間に戻す方法は分かってないの。けどね、代わりにすっごい名案を思いついたんだよ。それはね、人間に近い人形の体にプラフタの魂を移すことなんだ。もちろんそれも簡単なことじゃなくて町のみんなが協力してくれたおかげで素敵な体が出来上がったの。私もみんなもプラフタもすっごく嬉しかったけど大変なのはその後だったんだ。プラフタが昔戦った錬金術師ルアードが復活したの。プラフタはそれを止めようとしたんだけどなんか違う気がして私とプラフタは一緒にルアードを説得しに行ったんだ。もちろん不安だったけどきっとできるって信じてた。だってルアードももともとは私たちと同じ思いを持っていた人だから。プラフタも本当はルアードを倒したいとは思っていなかった。だってプラフタの夢はみんなを笑顔にすることだから。それならプラフタにもルアードにも笑顔になってほしい。だって私の夢はみんなを幸せにすることだから。二人でならできるってそう思えたんだ。みんなを笑顔で幸せにするそんな錬金術師に。だから私は決めたの。おばあちゃんと同じ公認錬金術師になろうって。しばらくの間ギルヘンベルとお別れしないといけないのは寂しいけどきっと絶対に公認錬金術師になってみせる。おばあちゃんみたいな錬金術師になりたいから。だからその時まで見守っててね。それじゃあ行ってきます。大好きなおばあちゃんへ、ソフィー・ノイエン・ミュラー。
And that has been the story so far. And now, we can actually get into the new game. Now, as you heard, unfortunately, this game only has Japanese voice acting. So we'll be playing with subtitles on, obviously. But I don't think I saw an option to turn off the subtitles anyway. It's sad because the original Atelier Sophie had English voice acting, as did Atelier Fierce after that. It wasn't until Atelier Lydian Suel that they went to Japanese-only voice acting. For what reason, I don't know, but I enjoyed actually listening to the voice lines for these Atelier games ever since I first started with Atelier Eska and Logi, the Alchemist of the Dusk Sky. So, one thing I read in a interview article about this game with their developers, they said that they may consider adding English voice acting again to Atelier games again if there's enough of a demand for it. So, to anyone who comes watching here and those here today, demand it. Create a demand for more English voice acting in the Atelier series, please. And yes, what you do need to, it's a bit of studying, but also at the same time, just listening to things over and over and over again. It's not the same as with a Latin alphabet, where you can guess at certain roots, certain word roots, and even pronunciations to figure out what the word means. It's a bit harder to do that with Japanese because it's not the same phonetic pattern. But enough about Japanese phonics. Let's get into the game.
無数の夢を見ていた。何にもない世界でたった一人。大地、空、海、欲求、願望、愛情。人の夢の中には全部が詰まっていた。ある時、キラ輝く夢を見た。優しくて明るくてとても強い。会いたい。彼女に会ってみたい。そう願わずにはいられなかった。たとえそれが許されないことだったとしても。私は夢に形を与える。彼女に会うために。 しまいますね、ソフィー。でも全然元気がないみたい。クラフタが夢で見た木ってあれで合ってるの？いえ、私が見たのはもっとオスカーがいたらな。一体どこに行っちゃったのやら。きっとまた植物たちの声を聞いて飛んでいったのでしょう。だね。とにかくもう少し近づいてみようよ。そうですね。近くに行けば何かわかるかもしれませんし。行こう、クラフター。ソフィー、あまり急ぐと転びますよ。
いつでも前向きな錬金術師ソフィー、そして人形の体を持つ相棒プラフタ。二人は慣れ親しんだソフィーの故郷を離れ各地を旅していました。旅の目的は2つ。一つは人形の体に魂を入れたクラフターを人間の体にすること。そしてもう一つは祖母の足跡をたどり公認錬金術師の資格を手に入れること。いずれも高度な錬金術の知識を必要とする生半可な覚悟では達成できない目的ですが、ソフィーに迷いはありません。夢を叶えるべく今日も前へと歩み続けるのでした。これはそんな彼女が体験した数々の冒険の一つ。夢をめぐる不思議な物語。
近くで見るとますます大きいな。いろんなところを旅してきたけどこんなに大きい木を見るのは初めてだね。ええ、そうですね。しかしなぜ私はこの木のことを夢に。不思議だよね。ここまでの道も知ってたんでしょ？はい。でなければこんな森の奥にある場所とてもたどり着けませんでした。まるで夢に導かれたように。私は以前にもここに来たことが。クラフト？何でもありません。もう少し見て回ってもいいですか？これはクラフター。ソフィー、 飲み込まれてしまいます。ダメだよ、絶対助けるから。
And just like that, without even touching the controller, we've been sucked into a dimensional rift. Well, still better than the Dusk World.
あら、ちょっと予定外だけど。ようこそ私の世界へ。どんな夢から叶えに行こう。ほんの小さな1ページでも。ささやかな幸せでも世界はまた新しくなる。遠い昔しまい込んだこの意味もいつかわかるように身を送って願いがまた笑えるように。幸せのレシピ見つけたい。澄み切った心の瞬間が思う気持ちを何度でも始まりにかけるから。夢の先の未来図を書き出してると不思議な物語はまた笑い叶え続ける力になる。
Alright. Will we be able to take control now? Nope. We still got more introduction to go through. Again. Sorry, the screen keeps darkening. That's what happens when you don't touch the controller for so long. Okay, now we can touch it.
ここは。あ、よかった。目が覚めたんだね。ピリカさん、この人目覚ましたよ。よかった。気分はどう？どこか痛いところとかはない？はい。私、ここは？倒れてたお姉さんを。
Hey, Ghosty, good to see you. I didn't expect you to be up this late.
倒れてた？私たちは確か森で。そうだ、プランタ。
Yeah, we're just getting into
私の他に誰かいませんでしたか？
Atelier Sophie 2.
誰かいたか？
You missed about half an hour of introduction.
お姉さん以外には誰も。
So yeah, not much.
そんな。探さなきゃ。
We're just getting to the part where I can press the A button.
助けてくれてありがとうございました。私、もう行きます。待った待った。行くってどこにさ。君はまだこの世界のことは何も知らないんじゃないの？この世界？
In other words, we got isekai'd.
やっぱり見かけたことなかったからね。あるとはどう？私も見たことないよ。お姉さん、もしかして新入りの人？この世界とか新入りとか何のこと？あれ、ここに来る前に説明は受けてるはずだけど、もしかして聞いてない？まあ、いきなり言われても理解できないと思うし、順番にやっていこう。遅くなったけど、まずは自己紹介から。僕はピリカ、この店の店主をやっているよ。
Alright.
アレット・クラルティ、商人兼調達屋だよ。何か必要なものがあったらいつでも言ってね。
Alright.
私はソフィーの家ミラー、クラフタと一緒に旅をしていて、そのクラフタさんって人を探してるんだね。うん、早く探さなきゃ。まあ落ち着いてよ。口で説明しても時間ないだろうし、実際に見てもらった方が早いかな。だね。ソフィーさん、体が平気ならちょっとお店の外に出てみない？
Alright, we can move! We're free! Free! As we can be in the beginning, anyway. Let's see. Okay. Alright, so let's turn everything back to the way it was. I'm surprised we can actually go into the options menu from the menu. Usually it's so convoluted, it's not even funny. Alright.
どこなの？やっぱりソフィーさんはエルビーラ様になってないんだね。エルビーラ様？ おかしいな。こっちに来る前にエルビーラ様が説明してくれるはずなんだけど。ごめん、混乱させちゃったよね。急で驚くかもしれないけど、ソフィーさんは異世界っていうのを信じる？
I knew it. We've been isekai'd.
ここはソフィーさんがいた世界とは違う夢の神エルビーラ様に作られた異世界。無限世界のエルデビーゲ。そして今いるのはこの世界に来た人たちが暮らす唯一の町ロイテールっていうんだ。異世界って冗談だよね。普通の大きな町にしか見えないし。だよね。ここだけ見たらあっちの世界と変わらないし。フィリカさんもアレットさんも嘘をついてるようには見えないけど、それに私たちが吸い込まれたあの渦、あれは絶対に普通じゃなかった。もしかして本当に？けどそれならプラフトはどこに？ねえ、ソフィーさんってどうやってここに来たの？
Okay. After doing this with Atelier Sophie 2 and also starting from scratch in Atelier Sophie 1 on the Switch, I have decided that when it comes to Atelier games, I will do the intros off-screen, then load them up as just normal videos, and then part 1 of those streams will actually get into the gameplay. Because this can take awfully long, up to about 30 or 45 minutes, just to go through all the intros.
どうやってって言われても。
So I apologize for the slow startup time.
森の奥に大きな木があったんだけど、それに近づいたら変な渦に吸い込まれて。大きな木に渦か。渦のことはわからないけどさ、大きな木って夢の大樹のことじゃない？そうだね。ソフィーさんを見つけた場所から考えてもその可能性が高そうだ。私を見つけた場所？そこに連れてって。もしかしたらまだそこにプランタが。そうだね。私一人じゃ見つけられなかったけど3人なら。あ、でもその前にこれを渡しておくね。これって地図？あげるよ。知らない場所なんだし、地図があった方が心強いでしょ。
We get a mini-map tutorial, people. Alright, finally something's going well. We get the option to skip this tutorial. We're going to skip it because it's the mini-map, and if I assume that everyone here knows how to use a mini-map, but if not, please say so in the chat and we will go into it later. But for now, we're going to skip this tutorial for time's sake.
ありがとう、アレットさん。さん付けなんてしなくていいよ。そうありがとう、アレットちゃん。それじゃ夢の大樹を目指してレッツゴー。ああ、よろしくね。
Alright, Alright, we got freedom to move around now. Oh, okay. Yeah. Let's see. Where to go, where to go. Alright, so we're going in the right direction. I don't know if it's just me, but her walk seems a little weird. If it's just me or the coat. The run seems okay, I suppose. What do you think?
異世界っぽくないなーって思ってる？うん。だってみんな普通の人に見えるし。
そりゃもともと僕たちもソフィーさんと同じ世界から来た普通の人間だしね。
え、そうなの？
そうだよ。僕たちが寝てる時に見る夢、この世界では無限って呼ばれてるんだけど。
So, everyone else is asleep, but we have our physical bodies.
エルベラ様は僕たちが見る無限を通して強く叶えたいと思っている夢を見るんだ。
その中で気に入った夢の持ち主をエルデビーゲに導いてくれるんだよ。無数にある無限の中から探すからほとんど偶然みたいなものなんだけどね。
それにこの世界はちょっと特別でね、どれだけ時間が経っても年を取ることがないんだ。目標を持ってる人たちにとってはまさに夢のような世界ってわけさ。
どう？わかった？
A dream world where time is irrelevant and ambition means everything.
今のところは話半分に聞いてくれればいいよ。とにかくまずは夢の大樹に向かおう。
Alright. Oh, right, and... Oh, wow! Okay. This is actually a new thing for all the Atelier games. Even for direct sequels. Because for once, we don't start out at level 1. Sophie starts out at level 20, and her alchemy level is already at 50. So, that's good. However, we still only have 200 coal to our name. That is not so good. But, we'll be able to fix that soon. Right. And we're out.
私がプラフタと一緒に見たのは。プラフタ、お願い、いたら返事して。
返事はないみたいだね。
探してみよう。3人でなら何か見つかるかも。
そうだね。ソフィーさんと同じように気を失ってるかもしれない。
Right.
2人ともありがとう。
誰もいなかったね。
もしかしたらもう誰かが保護してくれてるのかもしれないよ。そうだといいんだけど。ねえ、この木は一体何なの？普通の木じゃないよね。この木はね、夢の大樹って呼ばれてるの。夢の神エルヴィーラ様もね、この大樹の近くにいるって言われてるんだよ。まあ本当かはわからないけどね。誰もここでエルヴィーラ様を見たことはないし。ここで？
みんな一度は話したことがあるんだよ。この世界に導かれる前にね。ただその時もはっきりとした姿じゃなくって、こう光に包まれたおぼろげな姿なんだ。
That sounds shady.
エルヴィーラ様、その時以外は絶対に人の前に姿を現さないからちゃんと見たことがないの。けどすごい神様なのは間違いないよ。夢の神様か。でも私はそんな神様に会ってない。渦のことも2人は知らないんだよね。
そこが不思議なんだよね。今までそんなの聞いたことないし。
さすがに私たちの話だけでここを異世界と思えなんていうのはちょっと無茶だよね。けどガレットちゃんたちが嘘ついてるようにも見えないし。それに私が見た大樹の周りにこんな祭壇や町はなかった。けど確かに枯れてたあの木と同じものだし、だからちょっとは信じられるかな。
I call spatial synchronicity.
少しでも信じてもらえたならよかった。
Location in two realities that's exactly the same.
でもここが異世界なら早くプラットを探さなきゃ。それじゃあ町の人たちに話を聞いてみよう。ソフィーさんみたいに誰かが見つけてロイテールに来てるかもしれないよ。
あ、ごめん、僕はお店に戻るけどお客さんにも話を聞いてみるよ。もし何か分かったらすぐに教えるね。
了解。それじゃあソフィーさん行こう。うん、2人ともよろしくね。近くで見ると本当に大きいな。
I need to find a cauldron. Field store it is. Okay. To the residential district.
犬が来た。うるさいの？
よう、ハレットじゃねえか。こんなとこにいるなんて珍しいな。
ちょっと夢の大樹に用事があってね。
なんだ、木登りでもしたかったのか？
違う、人を猿か何かみたいに言わないでよ。
悪い悪い。猿よか可愛げはあるわな。
猿と比べられても嬉しくないからまったく。
見たことない顔だな。もしかして新人か？
そう、こっちに来たばかりのソフィーさん。エルビーラ様と会わないでこっちに来たみたいなの。
へえ、そんなやつもいるのか。ソフィーだったか？俺様はオリアス・エンデルス、世界最強の超用心棒だ。
Oh yeah, that's not shady at all.
助けが必要な時はいつでも呼んでくれ。後悔はさせねえぜ。
Yeah, that ain't shady at all. Not in the slightest.
世界最強？超用心棒？その辺は流しちゃっていいよ。それよりオリアスさ、プラフタって名前に聞き覚えある？
プラフタ？
私の家族で一緒に渦の中に吸い込まれたから、多分こっちに来てるはずなんです。
ソフィーの家族かどうかはわからねえが、プラフタっていう錬金術師なら知ってるぞ。
本当ですか？
最近こっちに来たばっかのやつで、町外れのアトリエにこもってずっと研究してるぜ。何度かカティのところに飯食いに来てるのを見たことあるが、てかアレットも見たことあんだろ？
Yeah, totally not shady.
銀髪で尻尾があってさ、あと何かの耳みたいな飾りもつけてるやつだよ。
そっか、あの人か。名前までは知らなかったよ。
お前な。
だってここって人の出入り激しいし、新しく来た人の名前なんて覚えてられないよ。出入りが激しいってことは、ちゃんと元の世界に帰る方法があるんだ。
ああ、この世界で自分自身の思いや夢が満たされると、その瞬間に元の世界に戻されるようになってんだ。その辺のこと最初にちゃんと説明してくれねえと混乱するよな。まったく困った女神様だぜ。
My money's on the fact that this goddess uses uses your striving for your ambition as fuel for this place. Once you achieve that ambition, not much left in the battery.
エルビーラ様に会ってない私ってどうやったら帰れます？
ああ、わかんねえ。俺様も聞いたことないしな。かなり特別ってことは間違いないぜ。
そんなのいらないのに。
と、それより今はプラフタの方が先だな。案内してやるから俺様についてきな。
Oh yeah, that doesn't sound shady at all.
はい、ありがとうございます。よかったね、ソフィーさん。こんなに早く見つかるなんて思わなかったよ。本当によかった。けど、こんなにすぐ自分のアトリエを持つなんてさすがに早すぎるような。それに今のプラフタは錬金術ができないのに、どういうことなんだろう。
Alright. Onward once again. After extremely long cutscenes, it is so wonderful when you finally have control over your character again.
ここっていつ来ても静かだよね。あまり人も来ないし。
マジでなんもないからな。わけのわかんねえ遺跡の跡くらいしかねえし。
なんかこういうのどかな場所に来るとキルヘンベルを思い出しちゃうな。
キルヘンベル？
うん、私の故郷の町だよ。出てから結構経ったけど、みんな元気かな。毎日一緒にいたのがなんだか懐かしい。またみんなと遊びたい。モニカの歌もまた聞きたいな。
懐かしい気持ちになってるとこ悪いが、ほらもうアトリエはすぐそこだぜ。
あ、はい。まずはプラフタに会わなくちゃ。
Alright. Almost there. Oh, great. So, the map directional controls are reversed. Minimap. Alright, let's try something for a second. Nope. So while they created options to control the regular camera, there is no way to correct the controls for the map. So they just inverted them in this game, which is extremely annoying. Alright.
ここがプラフタのアトリエだ。
わあ、素敵なアトリエ。
あれ？でもここって確か。
どうぞ、勝手に入ってください。あれ？今の声って。
ほら、早く入ろうぜ。
あ、はい。ここがプラフタのアトリエ。でもなんだろう、この感じ。私のアトリエとは全然違うのに、なんだかすごく懐かしい気持ちになる。待たせちゃってごめんなさい。それでどんなご用件ですか？あれ？ここってプラフタのアトリエじゃ。そうですよ。ここは錬金術師 プラフタのアトリエですがあなたは？だから私がプラフタですが、錬金術師プラフタは私です。
It's a completely different Plachta.
もしかして人違い？確かに私の探してたプラフタとは違うんだけどでもなんでなのかな、人違いって感じもしなくて。だから私がプラフタですって。用事がないなら帰ってもらえますか？研究で忙しいんですけど。ごめんなさい。私ソフィーの家ミラ、あなたと同じ錬金術師なのここに来たばかりなんだけど、一緒にいた家族のプラフタと離れ離れになっちゃって探してるんだ。私と同じ名前？それに錬金術師？詳しく話を聞かせてください。なるほど。エルビーラと会うことなくこのエルデビーゲに来てしまったんですか。そうなの。アレットちゃんに助けられなかったら今頃どうなってたかわからないよ。私と同じ名前のプラフタさんについても嘘をついてるわけではなさそうですね。わかりました。錬金術師かどうかはさておき信じてあげます。どうして錬金術師ってことを信じてくれないの？当然です。錬金術師はなりたくてなれるような簡単な職業じゃないんですから。常に新たな道具を生み出そうとする探求心、技術、生まれ持った才能が必要不可欠なんです。
そうなのか？
私に聞かないでよ。そもそも錬金術師を名乗ってはいますが、それを証明するものを持っていますか？
Finally, we're getting to actual alchemy after an hour of this.
それはここに来た時にほとんど落としちゃったから。でも本当に錬金術師だよ。ではこうしましょう。このアトリエにある道具を自由に使っていいので何か作ってみてください。それができればソフィーが錬金術師だと認めましょう。今は無理だよ。早くプラフタを探さないといけないし。仮にもし錬金術師であることを証明できればこのアトリエを共同で使用してもいいと言ったら？
Yes, not only a cauldron, but a place to hang my hat, so to speak.
こっちにいる間住むところも必要でしょ悪い。ソフィーさんどうする？分かった、やるよ。プラフタを探すのにもアトリエがあった方が助けになるかもしれないし、私ちょっと材料になりそうな素材を取ってくるよ。なら町を出たところの草原がいいでしょう。手頃な素材がいい。
Oh right, I forgot gathering.
そういうことなら私もお手伝いするよ。
ま、最強用心棒の俺様が特別にロハで手伝ってやるぜ。
二人ともありがとう。よろしくね。
Okay then. Alright, so he's got a bayonet and rifle hybrid, and the other one's a martial artist. Yeah. I'll be honest with you, I'm struggling to stay awake. It's not just the hour of intro and supposition that's getting to me. It's the fact that this is stream number 4 of the day. Even with a near 3-hour break. Yeah, near 3-hour break after the first one. Then we did, which was Dylan's Rolling Western. Then we did Sly 2. Then we took a 15-minute break. Went to Sly 3. Then we took about an hour break. And now we're here. And then basically spending the next hour going through the intro. Alright. I'm just gonna make this a fast tutorial, much faster what this is gonna provide. Basically, you have 4 options when going to this desk. You can either save your game, load your game, go to the changing room, which changes the attire of each character that you have, or you can go straight back to the title menu. That's it. That's all you can do. But in the save screen, I think you can also delete save data if you so choose. But that's it. So now we don't have to go through that tutorial. Thank you for listening to the Sunset Archon Speed tutorial, where you do not have to suffer. Alright. Updates. Unlock Sophie's everyday costume. Unlocked Sophie's Countryside Alchemist costume. We'll worry about that later. First, just outright save. Because we turned off autosave. We don't use... Thing is, we never use autosave in an Atelier game because there are moments where you have to... where you're experimenting on how to create the best item, and your ingredients are precious. So if you screw up the first time, you can load a past save. You can load up your past save, and then try again. But if you have autosave on, it'll overwrite your save in the worst times, and you won't be able to start from the beginning of synthesis.
いい感じに仕上げちゃ
There's a photo
おう。
mode?
いい感じに仕上げちゃおう。
They have a photo mode, but they can't put the math controls in the right direction. Alright. Wait. Now I think about it. Alright, so we can bounce back to the Atelier if necessary, but we haven't unlocked fast travel around the entire town yet. Which makes things a little more tedious, but once we have that, the things will really start to pick up in the game. But since we spent literally an hour with the prologue, I don't know how much I can actually keep this up. Even though I say in the description I usually go about 3 hours when starting a new Atelier game. That is under the assumption that the prologue is short and quick. This is one of the longer ones.
見たことのない草も生えてる。こんなの図鑑でも見たことない。ここが異世界だって実感少しは湧いた？うん。 それじゃあ材料になりそうな素材を早く取らなくちゃ。
ちょっと待った。ソフィー、あれを見てみろ。
There are ponies in this world too.
魔物？ここって魔物も連れてこられるの？魔物はこの世界で生まれるんだよ。
エルデビーゲってのはエルビーラ様が人の無限を元に作った世界だからな。その元となった無限には当然魔物もいるわけだ。それが世界を作る際に一緒に生まれちまうらしいぜ。
So, people dream of monsters. So is this a dream or a nightmare? That is the true question.
そうなんですね。じゃあ最終中に戦うのは避けられそうにないかな。
へえ、落ち着いてるな。ソフィーは魔物と戦える錬金術師みたいだな。
錬金術師って意外と戦える人が多いのかな。でもそれなら戦闘も楽になるしありがたいよ。錬金術の素材って何を集めたらいいの？今回はクロースを作ろうと思うから年銀の糸、ウサギも、あとは適当な植物があれば。オッケー、それじゃあちゃちゃっと集めちゃおう。
Alright. Okay, this is the one tutorial we are going to do because every world explanation in a different Atelier game is and each Atelier game is different. Some have new features that the previous game or further games in the future will not have. So it's always good to read up on the specific Atelier game you're playing. Okay. You can gather alchemy materials and battle enemies in all kinds of areas outside of town. Gathering points can be found anywhere in the world. Press Y at a gathering point to harvest the materials found there. That's one of the key points. In this game, it's to press Y to gather. In other games, you just have to press A. Or X, depending on whether you're playing on Nintendo Switch or PS4 or PS5. If you make contact with one of the monsters prowling the overworld, a battle will begin. Most monsters found near town aren't very threatening, but a small number of them are very strong, so be careful what the fights you pick. Yeah, I learned that the hard way too. Monsters will sometimes drop items when defeated in battle. Okay, that's the same. Don't forget that these items are usable in synthesis. Sometimes fighting monsters is the best way to get the items you need. Moving on. Alright, so there's only one good piece of information. Alright. So we're gonna read the tutorial for battles too, because this battle system is supposed to be different from other Atelier games.
ただ突っ込むんじゃねえぞ。戦闘ってのは頭で考えてするもんだぜ。少しばかり数が多いからな。敵の数を確実に減らしながら戦うぞ。
わかりました。
Battle will begin if you run into a monster in a field or use a tool to swing at them, which I just did. Swung my staff right upside the back of that rabbit's head. Alrighty, you will gain a boost if you begin a battle by attacking them with the tool. In a battle, the goal is to defeat all enemies. You'll win once you reduce their HP to 0. In turn, if every party member's HP reaches 0, you lose. Normal attacks are the most basic offensive option in battle. They don't hit very hard, but they allow you to deal damage without expending MP. Try selecting attack from the command list to give the enemy a good whack. To whack. Okay. So I can't use the left analog stick to move through the options. I have to use the D-pad. Alright, so... Okay. Alrighty, so it's making sense so far.
よーし、この調子でどんどんやっつけて。
待て、アレット。狙われてるぞ。
Alrighty, now they're focused on Alet.
うわー、本当だ。どうしよう、どうしよう。落ち着いて、アレットちゃん。こういう時は守りを固めるんだよ。
MP can be expanded to use skills with powerful effects. Protect Alet from harm by using Aegis Shield from the skill menu. Okay, so on the left side we have the character icons, HP on the top, MP on the bottom. So her MP is 164. This only takes her 30. Okay, Aegis Field applies 1 stat to each defense and SE resistance, whatever that is. SE resistance increase to all allies. Blocking significantly reduces any damage you take until your next turn. Select block to brace yourself for incoming attack. Okay, so we got attack, item, flee, block, and skill. Items have even more powerful effects than skills, but beware. Once their use count reaches 0, they can no longer be used. Select your craft from the item menu and blast your enemies away. Can only be used once. And this is a quality craft. I wish I could make more right now, but we can't. Alright, we made it for our first battle, and we managed to get the rabbit fur we needed.
Sophie! あんな戦えるなんてマジで錬金術師かよ。
採取で魔物と戦うこともあるから、それなりに戦えないとダメなんです。それにしたって戦い慣れてない？錬金術師ってみんなこんな感じなんだっけ？
いや、あいつがかなり特殊な例だと思ったんだが、実際のとこどうなんだ？
私もおばあちゃんとクラフト以外の錬金術師ってよく知らないし。
Alright. Now we can continue to move.
待った！これでいいんだよね。
Looks like we got everything we need.
で、必要な素材ってのはこれで全部か？
はい、手伝っ ってくれてありがとうございます。それじゃあ早く戻って作っちゃおう。ただいま。必要な素材を取ってきたよ。お疲れ様です。では早速調合してみてください。うん、それじゃあ釜使わせてもらうね。どれにしようかな。
Oh, wow. At the very least, I still know how to make everything. I just don't have the materials for it. So, I'm liking this game already. I don't have to waste time searching for recipe books. And it looks like I'll be able to go beyond Alchemy level 50 in this game. Okay, recipe is required to synthesize an item. Your alchemy level must also be higher than the item's level. You don't have to worry about that for a while. Lastly, you will of course need the materials listed in the recipe. The recipe will be displayed in red if you don't have enough materials, or if your alchemy level is not high enough. The available recipes will be displayed in black. For now, let's try synthesizing some cloth. Select it with A.
材料はっと。
After selecting a recipe, you will choose the materials to use. You will be able to see the required quantities of each material in the recipe. When a specific material like uni is listed in the recipe, select that item. Meanwhile, where a category like water is listed, you'll be able to choose any material belonging to the category. Try selecting the ingredient required for cloth. Silver web, materials from the plants and animals material categories. Alright. This is our first synthesis. Welcome to the Sunset Archon channel, where we aspire to gain from night to first light. How are you doing today?
それとも。まずはあれから。いや、それとも。
Alright. Each material is made up with up to 4 elemental components. There are 5 types of elemental components. Oh, 5. This is new. Fire, ice, lightning, wind, and light. Usually it's just fire, ice, lightning, and wind, or fire, ice, earth, and wind. No, earth and lightning in the Dusk series. But this should be interesting now they've added light. The elements are represented by red, blue, yellow, green, and purple colors respectively. During synthesis, you will place each material's components on the synthesis panel in the center of the screen. Alright, time to start. Use A to select the elemental component in the upper left of the screen and place it on the synthesis panel. Alrighty. You can see on the right side of the screen that placing the component has increased the item's quality and effect level by 2. The quality of an item will increase with the number of components placed on the synthesis panel. Effect levels are determined by the number of components on the synthesis panel that carry the same element. Additionally, the effect level will rise by 1 for every component with the element matching the element on the synthesis panel. Raising the effect levels can activate new effects or enhance existing effects of the synthesized item. Place the next component. This time, set the component on the wind element slot on the synthesis panel. Because the component's element matches the slot, the item's effect level has increased by 3. Alright, this is actually pretty interesting compared to the original synthesis system in Atelier Sophie. New effect, Gear Synthesis Defense plus 3 has also been applied. Using this item in the synthesis of equipable items, such as weapons and armor, will improve their stats. Next, place the next component. Just like the last component, set it on the wind element slot of the synthesis panel. Alright, yeah, that is a good point, and once we really get into this game, we'll be making a lot of these components. We'll be making a lot of different types of cloth to create the ultimate equipment. That is something I will be doing on stream. Yes, it will be convoluted, but it will be amazing once it is complete. Huh. Apparently you can overlap? Ah, whoops. The component you set for sunk. Placing a component on top of another will overwrite the original component. For now, it's best to get the bonus from maxing the elements without overwriting any panels. Use the B to cancel placing the component, select the component again, and use L and R to rotate it. Alright. This is good because sometimes there are instances where you want to overwrite a certain component. You want it to exist in the synthesis, but you don't want it to affect the overall product. So yeah, that's going to be an excellent feature to use in the future. Next we will discuss link components. Panels that have a bright star are known as link components. Components of the same element placed adjacent to link components will become linked. The synthesis item's elemental effect level will rise with the number of links with that element. Linking is key to getting items with powerful effects, so the placement of your components should be considered carefully. Let's try making a link. Start by placing the component first. Then take the second component and rotate it to create a link. A light elemental link has been created, increasing the item's max effect level. As a result, one extra component has been added, and cloth now has the stretchy effect. Okay. Yeah, when I make all of the armors and weapons for this game, I might end up having a bunch of sheets of paper trying to map out the various formulas to create all the ingredients needed for this stuff. It is fulfilling once the formula finally comes to fruition, but it can be mentally draining. So if you do play this game, beware. It will not only test your puzzle-making skills, but your abilities to plan far ahead into the future and figure out what ingredients you'll need before you even begin. Alright. After you place at least one component for each material on the synthesis panel, you'll be able to synthesize that item. But as you can see, there are other components, so you could use those on the panel if it would increase the effect of certain parts of the synthesis. You still need to add rabbit fur. Pick a component you want to use. So allow that. You can synthesize the item at this point, but if you want... But this time, let's add the rest of the components as well. Set the remaining 2 components while taking care not to overwrite anything. So this part we do on our own. So for this part, we add this. Add it like this. Oh wait, hold on a sec. Alright, so we can't back out. Honestly, I would have put the part I just put up there, up top, rotated it, and then put that long electric lightning part down further so we can get another link going. But that really wouldn't do much considering we're already at the max for the lightning quality, which gives us gear synthesis speed +6. So instead, we're just going to hit this, add that here, and it'll create a longer link. Or maybe not. I'm still learning this synthesis system, but it looks like it looks pretty good so far. There's always a chance to trigger super success during synthesis, and it will raise an item's quality by 50%. Alright, super success. The chance of a super success will rise with the number of filled component slots on the synthesis panel. Fulfilling any vertical and horizontal lines on a synthesis panel will greatly raise the chance of a super success. Next, up to 3 traits can be transferred from materials to the final product. Traits are extra effects that items can gain in addition to their base effects. Some traits will transform into powerful new traits when combined with other traits. Try a lot of different combinations. And that is what we will be doing, because we'll be creating high-powered quality traits, traits to make things cheap, traits to increase stats. We will be aiming for the epitome of high-quality items in order to create our ultimate equipment. So, we'll use quality to increase the quality. But this only increases the item quality by 5%. Past games, it would increase by about 10%. We'll also do cheap, decreases the selling price. Actually, no. Actually, yes. Decreases the selling price by 10%, but also decreases the duplication and restock prices. And max HP plus 20. And now we synthesize. And there we got it. 4 pieces of cloth. Cloth is complete, and it was a super success too. So it went up from a quality of 48 to a quality of 72. Alright. That sound right there was the sound of that swirling light, but sounded like it was soft locked until I pressed A. That's a little concerning, but I'm just going to chalk that up to the fact that we're still playing on 1.0 and haven't done the Day 1 patch yet. And we got that. You will gain alchemy XP after completing a synthesis, even though we're already at alchemy level 50. This will be my first time going beyond alchemy level 50, so this will be a brand new feeling. Synthesize lots of items and raise your alchemy level to make powerful items. Oh, I will, believe me. And now, onward with the story.
よプラフタ。確認してみて。な
なんか険しい表情してねえか。
やっぱり品質が良くなかったからかな。いえ、とても素晴らしいものを見せてもらいました。品質については町の周辺で取れる程度の素材だったので最初から期待はしていませんけど、それほど良くない品質の素材を使い慣れていない窯で完成させるなんて。
そういえば見たことのない草が生えてるとか言ってたもんね。
うん、でも思った通り使えたからほっとしたよ。どうやらあなたは私が思っていた以上に優秀な錬金術師みたいですね。
Alright, we've proven our skill.
先ほど疑ってしまったことは謝ります。ごめんなさい。そんな謝らなくていいよ。証明するものを持ってなかった私も悪いんだし。そう言ってもらえると助かります。約束通り今日からアトリエも自由に使ってください。
どうにか認めてもらえたようだな。
イエーイ、やったねソフィーさん。ありがとう。2人が協力してくれたおかげだよ。ところでソフィー、あなたが探しているというプラフタさんですがさっき私と雰囲気が似ていると言ってましたね。詳しく説明するのは難しいけど別人って感じはしなくて、実はそのことで一つ仮説を立ててみました。もしこの仮説が正しかった場合、ソフィーの探しているプラフタさんと私は同一人物である可能性が浮上してきます。それどういうことなの？それはこのエルデビーレという世界にはいろいろな時代の人間が集まる場所だからです。
I thought that was the case. In a world where time doesn't affect the people who enter it, that wouldn't make much sense if unless you were bringing people across time and space, because you would basically be bringing people in from multiple points in time, because everyone isn't asleep at the same time.
おいアレット、おめえまだ。
全部私が説明するなんて無理だよ。
言葉の通り、ソフィーがいた世界を現在とするならそれより過去の人間はもちろんのこと、未来の世界に生きる人たちもいるのです。なのでもしもソフィーが探しているプラフタさんと私が同一人物だった場合を考えると、今ここにいるプラフタは昔のプラフタ？なるほど。どうやらソフィーの探しているプラフタさんは成長した私かもしれません。
So, my question is, time is already being screwed around with at this point if an entire world is bringing people in from different timelines, but if the same person from two different points in time meet inside the dream world, will that affect the space-time continuum since it's already operating outside of the realm of time?
けどよ、そんな本当にありえんのか？
I'm too tired for philosophy
なんて話聞いたこと
and
ねえぞ。
existentialism.
だからあくまでも仮説の域です。現段階では証明することもできませんし、同時に他人であると証明することもできません。もしそれを証明することができるとしたら、
ソフィーさん んの探してるプラフタさんを見つけるしかないってことだね。
そういうことになります。これはすこぶる興味深い話です。この仮説を証明するためにもソフィーが探すプラフタさんを探しに行きましょう。
まあ探すっつっても手当たり次第に聞いて回るしか方法はねえんだけどな。
ならば水晶の輝き亭に行ってみましょう。あそこはいろいろな情報が集まる場所なので。
そっか、もしかしたらカティさんのところに話が来てるかもしれないね。
水晶の輝き亭？カティさん？
ロイテールの古株の一人でね、町のみんなのことすっごい詳しいんだよ。
まあ少々問題もあるんだが、
水晶の輝き亭は商業区にある食事どころです。すぐに向かいましょう。
Alright, tutorial. You're Atelier 2. Alright, we'll be watching this tutorial too because this is some of the unique stuff of Atelier Sophie 2. You can synthesize items by approaching your cauldron in your atelier. Already knew that. If you ever need to find a specific item to continue exploring or fulfill someone's quest, head to your cauldron and get mixing. Already knew that. You can also rest in your bed while in your atelier. This comes with candy if you need a quick way to passing the time. Knew that? Tutorial equipment. Okay. Your cauldron can also be used to synthesize tools for use in battle or exploration. The items you create must be equipped to a character before you can make use of their effects. Okay, that is key because in some games in some of the Atelier games, you can just put it in your inventory and you can use it. In games like this one, you actually have to equip it to a certain character for them to use it specifically. So each character that's in your party can have a different loadout of items. Items can be equipped from the equipment screen in the main menu. Up to 4 consumables and 4 equipment items can be equipped to one character. Items must be equipped before they can be used, so don't forget to check before you set off. Next tutorial, field restoratives. While pressing right on the D-pad while in the overworld to use any restorative items you might have on hand. This is collective among all your party members. Only items that are equipped to a character may be used in that way. If you plan on bringing healing items with you while exploring, be sure to equip them in advance. There are also cases where you'll find healing items out in the field, like in a barrel or a set of ruins, where you have them in your bag, but to use them you have to actually equip them, and you can equip them in the field. As far as I know from past games. It might be different in this game, but we'll find that out later. Alright. So that tutorial wasn't all useless. Alright, we're not going to check our transferred items because they're all the same, see? They literally are all the same. Place the items in the container. And there's our container. Oh, that's a good... This is a good thing to see because our container capacity is 9,999. Past Atelier games make you work for the extra capacity and increasing it. But this game, it just gives it all to you now. So we're going to stock up loads of items, and we're going to end up going through a lot of them, trying to figure out what's the most efficient to use and create new items with. And before we get into anything else, I want to look at some of the recipes that we have, since we're alchemy level 50 in this game. Tutorial, auto add materials. Alright. This is another tutorial we'll need. With auto add materials selected, components will be placed on the synthesis panel automatically. You can enable auto add materials by pressing ZR on the component placement screen. Use this feature when you want to speed up the synthesizing process. Tutorial, redoing synthesis. Oh, wonderful. If you accidentally place a component in the wrong spot, you can press the L button to undo. Oh, okay. Press the L button to undo. I was trying to undo it pressing the B button, but they put it on a completely different button. You can redo a step you previously undone by pressing the R button. Alright, so there's a complete undo and redo system in this game. That's good. You can undo or redo as many times as you like, so experiment to find the best placement. This will be perfect for me, who tries to find that perfect setup. Alright. Tutorial, reselecting materials. Once you swap out unused materials for different ones, you can swap out unused materials for different ones by selecting the rightmost icon. Use the reselect function to synthesize items with the best effects possible. Alright, now we're just gonna go through all of these to see what items we have to craft. Wait. Alright, honey, ingot, cloth, refresher oil. Craft, bomb, ice bomb, lightning bomb, sedative ointment, and Soti. Not to be confused with Sophie. Ah! I'm sure Sophie would get a laugh out of that joke. You'll hear it later if you watch the stream to the end. Then we got the Star Guide staff and the Traveler's Vest. There was one recipe I was hoping would be in here, but maybe we get it later on. It'll make crafting high quality items a lot easier if it actually exists in this game and they haven't fiddled with the recipe itself. It basically creates an infinite loop of alchemy that makes creating high quality items so much easier once you realize that such a thing exists. Alright. But for now, we are going to save and call it a night because, yeah, I am wiped out after half of this stream being intro before we even got to move around and fight. And logged, we have an hour and 30 minutes of actual gameplay. So we may have been going about an hour through all of the introduction, but it only started counting game time after the first 30 minutes of that. That is something. Alrighty. That is it for today's stream of Atelier Sophie 2, the Alchemist of the Mysterious Dream. We will be taking a break tomorrow, and I will be letting you know when the next stream will be after that. Thank you for all that have shown up, and what are your thoughts on Atelier Sophie 2?
今日のご飯は
Alrighty. Alright, again, we'll be wrapping this up. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you all in the next stream. I hope to see you all that are here today, and anyone in the future who comes to watch the playback of this stream. Have a nice night.